The Detroit Red Wings are one of the most historic and successful franchises in the National Hockey League. They are members of the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference of the NHL and are one of the original 6 teams in the league. As of 2017, the Red Wings had won the most Stanley Cup championships of any NHL franchise based in the United States, with 11, and are 3rd overall in total NHL championships, behind the Montreal Canadiens with 24 and the Toronto Maple Leafs with 13. When it joined the league in 1926, the new Detroit franchise purchased the players of the Western Hockey League's Victoria Cougars, who had won the Cup in 1925 and had made the finals the previous winter. The new Detroit team also adopted the Cougars' nickname in honor of the folded franchise. It was known as the Detroit Cougars from 1926 to 1930, and then changed its name briefly to the Falcons, and finally the Red Wings in 1932. Since no arena in Detroit was ready at the time the team joined the league in 1926, the team played their first season at the Border Cities Arena in Windsor, Ontario. For the 1927-28 season, they moved into the new Detroit Olympia, which would be their home rink until December 1979. The Wings played at Joe Louis Arena from then until 2017. For the start of the 2017-2018 season, they will move into the Little Caesars Arena. The Red Wings are one of the most popular franchises in the NHL, and local fans refer to Detroit as Hockeytown. The Red Wings actually own the Hockeytown trademark. Between the 1933-34 and 1965-66 seasons, the Red Wings missed the playoffs only 4 times. Between the 1966-67 and 1982-83 seasons, the Red Wings made the playoffs only 2 times. However, since then, they have made the playoffs in 30 of the last 33 seasons, including 25 in a row from 1990-91 to 2015-16. In the last 35 years, the Detroit Red Wings have made the finals 6 times and won 4 Stanley Cups. Detroit's first superstar coach was Jack Adams. Adams already had a distinguished playing career with the Toronto Arenas, the Vancouver Millionaires, the Toronto St. Pats, and the old Ottawa Senators, where he won his 2nd Stanley Cup in his last playing season in 1927. Jack Adams became the winningest coach in Detroit franchise history until replaced by Mike Babcock in 2014. Adams left the bench in 1947 and went to the post of general manager. The NHL award for best coach each year is named for Jack Adams. In all, he was associated with the Red Wings for 36 years. Jack Adams is, to this day, the only person to have won the Stanley Cup as a player, coach, and general manager. So, how did the Red Wings get their team logo? James E. Norris bought the team and saved it from bankruptcy in 1932. Norris, who is from Montreal, was fond of the Montreal Athletic Association's crest. The Montreal Winged Wheelers were the first winners of the Stanley Cup in 1893. Norris thought that a new logo would appeal to Detroit's hopping auto industry, so he created a modified version of the old 1893 Montreal crest for the Red Wings. The Red Wings made the playoffs in their first season under their new name and logo, and won their first Stanley Cup only 3 years later in 1936. Other cups followed in 1937, 1943, 1950, 1952, 54, 55, 1997, 98, 2002, and 2008. The 1952 successful Stanley Cup run marked the beginning of a tradition that continues to this day. An octopus is thrown onto the ice surface for good luck at the beginning of playoff games. The octopus, with its 8 legs, represented the number of playoff wins it took to win the Stanley Cup back in the original 6 era. Now it takes 16 wins, but the octopus is still popular in Detroit. A giant version of the octopus with red eyes and nicknamed Al, after Joe Louis Arena head ice manager Al Sobotka, hangs in the Red Wings arena during the playoffs. Sobotka was the man responsible for removing the thrown creatures from the ice. He was known for swinging the tossed octopi above his head when walking off the ice. Many members of the Detroit Red Wings organization have been honored by the Hockey Hall of Fame over the course of the team's history, including former owner James E. Norris, Coach Jack Adams, and many players, including Ted Lindsay, Red Kelly, Terry Sawchuk, Gordie Howe, Alex Delvecchio, Vyacheslav Fetisov, Steve Yzerman, Chris Chelios, and Brendan Shanahan. The Red Wings have retired several numbers. The first number the Red Wings retired was number 9 in 1972 in honor of Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. In 2007, the Wings retired Steve Yzerman's number 19, and several years later, Nicholas Lidstrom's number 5. The Detroit Red Wings have a winning tradition, and in recent years have welcomed a whole new generation of professional hockey players. Everyone is looking forward to the Red Wings' first season in their new arena.